What is up, YouTube? Top 16 Melbourne Regionals. We're going to talk about it today. Melbourne just finished up the first tournament with Astral Radiance Legal. I don't know if you guys saw, but the entire top 8 was Palkia. So we're going to look down at the top 16, look at some of the other lists that got very, very close, and kind of talk about how this affects our metagame, why these lists are the way they are, and what this means moving forward. So let's jump right into it because we got a lot to talk about. Looking at the top 16, there were 8 Palkia in the top 8, and then there was 1, 2 in the top 16 as well. So, and we had 3 Mews actually making it deep enough to actually have a placement, a Gengar VMAX, a straight like water Frostmoth deck, and then an Inteleon VMAX, which I think is one deck that no one really expected to see here. So the winning list, I've already talked about in extensive detail. 1st, 2nd, 7th, and 14th by some 4 amazing players, Christian, Kaiwin, Brent, and Natalie. You guys can see that video right above here. You can go watch that and see the extensive detail of the list, but it's a very turbo build, playing a lot of turbo shell cards, just getting the whole ball rolling, using a bunch of different attackers, and having Palkia to kind of clean up the game. Very turbo list, so we're not going to talk about it too much, but we're going to go into Angus Johnson's 3rd place Palkia list. This list is nothing super crazy. It looks like the most standard one we could see, playing the block face Ice Cube to deal with Reggie Gigas. Having as well a copy of Leon to go for one-shot potentials on both Mew and other Palkias if they choose to not overbench. 3 Irida, so a very heavy Irida build. No Marnie, just a 3 Irida, 1 Research, and a Roxanne. So the 3 Irida is just to kind of get whatever pieces you're looking for in your deck and kind of get the ball rolling for Angus. It looks like the pieces he had were like buckets, only 2 copies of Cross Switcher, which acts as a pseudo boss, I guess, a 3rd boss effectively. 2 Nat, 2 Incense, 2 Ultra, 1 Rod, 1 Palpad, 2 Choice Belt, no VIP Pass, so just 3 Irida, playing a slower, more methodical setup, it looks like, with a list like this. Interesting, I like it for sure, and Angus definitely made a very deep run. And then we have Calum, who I believe it was his first regionals, from what the casters were saying, playing a very consistent list as well. I think, yeah, Manaphy making an appearance in both of these decks, but not the Turbo list. With a Leon as well, so Leon making its way into multiple lists in the top 4, getting that extra damage. 2 Irida as well here, 2 Melanie, a Research, and a Marnie. A little bit more standard on the supporter count. Having an Ordinary the Horn here is what I'm very interested to see. 1 copy of Escape Rope. No cross switchers here, no Battle VIP Pass, just a very straightforward build that brought Calum to the top 4. And then 5th place, we have Henry Brand, our world champion. Playing a, again, straightforward version of Palkia, playing the 2 Irida, 2 Melanie, with the 3 Bucket, Palpad, a Tool Jammer, as well as in addition to the 2 Choice Belts to deal with any shenanigans that would kind of affect this. 3 Incense, 3 Bucket, 2 Nat, like everything, it's like a very consistent list looking at Henry's list, everything down the line. Everyone looks like they played one path plus 1 extra stadium that was not pathable, so either Temple or Training Court, and these cards are all, working out well for Henry. And then we have in 6th place Louis playing another Origin Form Palkia list with a, again, standard across the board, but we see a Starmie V in this one with 8 water as opposed to the 7. And then we see 2 Bucket as opposed to the 3. 1 Battle VIP Pass in addition to 2 Irida. A lot of Irida making top 8 here, so Irida definitely has some value to it besides the Turbo list. Roxanne, no Marnie here, a Raihan, as well as 2 Melanie here to kind of, I guess, use the Inteleon Shady Dealings if you need to, or set up maybe the Starmie out of nowhere. I like it, not a bad call. 2 Ultra, 2 Choice, 1 Big Charm, which is interesting, 2 Path, and a Temple. So a heavier Path in this regard, and a Big Charm, making you more beefy against maybe Mir or Mew or something of that nature. The 1 Battle VIP Pass sticks out to me like crazy. I guess it's the option of just going 2nd and going Irida for the VIP Pass if you open that combo raw without committing too many cards to it. And then in 8th, we had Max Prescott playing another very consistent, very straightforward Palkia list. 2 Irida as well, Marnie here, 1 Melanie, 1 Raihan here, Research, Marnie, Roxanne, very simple, no Leon. 1 Battle VIP Pass, again, 1 Pass, 2 Irida seems to become very common here, which is interesting to me, because I guess it's the option to having that. 1 Palpad, an Echoing Horn, a Temple, and a Path Jammer as well in this list, making an appearance. Then in ninth place, we had Jack Underwood's Frostmoth box, using Inteleon as one of the main attackers, with Frostmoth to Ice Dance Accelerated Energy. Radiant Greninja adds to the deck as a new attacker with the Moonlight Shuriken attack, something we can cycle multiple times with the Frostmoth. Crabominable V to close out the game with Destroyer Punch. Once we've already spread with Radiant Greninja, or put the damage on the board with either Quick Shooting or Aqua Bullet itself. Starmie V to punish aggressive play and have Swift to go through Miltank, but we also have other attackers to go through Miltank. Lapras does 110 and just paralyzes them if we got knocked out the turn prior, so it's a very good attack on the return. Manaphy is just Manaphy. 7 Water, 2 Capture to get the board set up, 2 Research, 2 Marnie, 2 Boss, 2 Nessa. Very important, actually. The Nessa is crucial because we use the Shaded Dealings line to actually attack, so we want to be able to bring that back. And Nessa brings back Radiant Greninja and 3 Waters, so we can just put a Greninja down, put all 3 Waters down, and make an attack if we want to. The bosses are actually crucial because we need to deal with a Manaphy in their deck pretty early. 4 level, 3 quick, 3 net, 2 incense, 2 bucket, 1 heavy ball, 1 rare candy to get to the Inteleon as an attacker much quicker, which I like a lot. 1 pal pad, 1 choice, 1 cape for your crab, Starmie or Radiant Greninja, and then a balloon and 2 training court. A very interesting deck that I think can be worked on and improved in some capacity to deal with the metagame, but it's a very interesting and spicy deck. Now, another deck we saw take the Turbo Shell was Tibor playing Gengar VMAX in the same Turbo Shell, playing the 2 Crobats, a Radiant Greninja, the Galarian Moltres, playing 2 Marnie, 2 Avery, and a Boss, and a Raihan, which I don't know if these are the optimal supporters in this Turbo Shell, for example, but we were just trying to get as many cards as we could, because Tibor played 4 Cross Switcher, it looks like. That's why they were kind of aggressively going for this, as opposed to playing maybe 4 Shoes, 4 Pass. But the whole point was to just get to the Darkness Energies, get to the Dark Patches, get to the Gengar VMAX's G-Max, swallow up as quickly as possible. Turn 2 with 2 Choice Belt means we can one-shot Palkias without being one-shot back, which is actually very crucial. It's one of the few cards in the format that can do that, so I think there is a lot of merit to this Gengar VMAX shell with Turbo. Just gotta somehow merge this into this, into this, and we'll be okay. We have 11th place Mew VMAX, played by Jeremy Evans. A very standard list, it looks like, across the board. The only new addition is the Trekking Shoes to give the deck a little bit more turbo. Still playing the Echoing Horn, 3 Rose Tower, respecting stadiums, of course. 3 Chromatics, 3 Phones, 1 Switch, 2 Rope. So a switching card was made a cut there, but I respect the hell out of a very consistent standard Mew list. And now, again, in 12th place, we had Jeremy playing Mew as well, with a Pumpkaboo and a Marnie. And no Trekking Shoes, it looks like. Just a very consistent, straightforward list with an Old Cemetery. But yeah, just a Pumpkaboo and a Marnie. And just that's all they've added to their list to kind of deal with Path Roxanne. You get the Pumpkaboo to just late game pop it and you can play the game. And then we have in 13th place Blake playing Mew VMAX as well. 1 copy of Trekking Shoes, which is really interesting because it's the only new card added to their list. And that 1 copy of Trekking Shoes may have been good, may not have been good. Who knows? That's Mew for you. And then in 15th, we had Sky Godfrey playing the Inteleon VMAX deck. This one is a little bit more just straightforward, using 2 Shaded Dealings Inteleon to get access to those Cheryls very quickly to heal, 2/2 Octillery, a Manaphy, a Phalanx, I guess, to hit Arceus for weakness. I guess if you have your whole board is rapid, then you're hitting for 120 Choice Belt, 150 Knockout. I guess like that makes sense, kind of. I don't know if this actually does it, but I don't know. Maybe we just have like, this is our like answer turn 2 to one-shot an Arceus that's sitting in the active spot because our opponent doesn't expect it. But it's a kind of a cheeky tech. I don't know if it's good per se. 3 Cheryl for the healing plus 2 Palpad, giving us 7 chances to heal our Inteleon, meaning we can out-heal pretty much everything in the format. 4 Path to the Peak added with Roxanne now, so we can Roxanne Path Mew. A Tower of Waters to have our own mobility. 2 Irida, 2 Boss. Irida does help the deck a lot because we can get our early game set up a little bit easier. 2 Boss, a Marnie, a Roxanne. No Research, I like that a lot. 4 Nat, 4 Level Ball, 4 Incense, 3 VIP. VIP is an interesting addition, only at 3 as well. I guess we have 2 Irida to also search it up if we go second. 2 Palpad, an Ultra Ball. And the whole deck, by the way, is also like keep callingable, besides, actually, even the Phalanx. Yeah, everything is keep callingable besides the Manaphy. 1 Ultra, the Hisuian and Heavy Ball, to kind of just get to our Manaphy or Phalanx or something if we need it. 1 Ordinary Rod, 2 Jammer. Jammer's interesting because I guess we just Jammer the active, and they just never get things to one-shot us, which is like I guess the equivalent of a big charm, but I guess Jammer goes the difference because of lightning types playing Choice Band now. 4 Path and a Tower, kind of just locking out our opponents. So a very interesting deck, something that I think could be very cool. I have not put too much time into this, but I like it. And then finally in 16th, we had Alfred playing another Palkia deck. This one playing the Luminian V as the only spice here. 3 Irida, 1 boss, 3 boss, 1 research, 1 Marnie, 1 Roxanne, 1 Melanie, 1 Raihan. 1 Ultra, 1 VIP. So we've seen Irida, 1 VIP in a lot of these lists, which is really interesting to me because I don't know if that's necessarily the best, but it's a very low commitment combination that you could put into your deck, and the 1 VIP doesn't clog up your deck too much. 1 Horn, 2 Belt, 1 Jammer, and again, the stadium count is similar across the board. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, obviously like, say, and subscribe, press that button. We will be talking about more of these top decks coming into Milwaukee and what does this do to the metagame tomorrow. Peace out.